Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Ketmia.
Welcome back
To the This and That Chat. Hey, I've never gotten to do that.
Nope, and you stole it from me because I didn't even know you were going to do it.
Because I know, of course. Hello, but you did something different, and I think you gave yourself a pause.
Okay.
If it wasn't planned, that's how it is.
So we took a week off.
That's right, and we haven't told people why. There was pestilence in the land.
Dun, dun, dun. So thankfully, we didn't get COVID,
Yes.
but everyone around us did.
Yes.
It was a week.
But also, I mean, I did get sick, and I thought maybe I had had exposure to it because it's pretty much everybody in my family who got it. And
Yeah, it was.
but they don't live here, so
No, but your sister.
but one
who
of my
does live
sisters who
here,
does, yes. So she and I had lunch, and then 2 days later,
she tested positive.
and I was feeling sick.
Yeah.
And I was sick for a while, and it was like a lot of the same symptoms. It got to the point where it was like, okay, I need to go get tested myself, make sure that I'm not positive. And
I was
thankfully,
crossing my fingers,
oh
hoping.
my gosh, so
I was
nerve-wracking.
worried.
So I just had like a really bad cold and flu, and it was just not, we were so, I mean, you're exhausted from your tree trimming, and
Which
I
ends
was
this
in
week.
no, I was in no
When
position.
you are listening to
I
this
feel like we're having
episode-
two different conversations at the same time.
I know, I'm
You
like,
go first. Go
I'm
ahead.
just like throwing.
Men first. Go.
I'm jabbing little stuff in there. I'm the roadrunner today. You see what happens when you jump in on my introduction? You mess the whole thing up.
Wow. What a domino effect.
We have switched roles.
Okay, so you're going to be the one laughing your head off today? No, because I already feel it bubbling in me.
Yeah, you're already your cheeks are already puffy. When you're listening to this episode, we will be on the last day of tree trimming. I'm gonna come home so happy.
Really? Is that Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Wow.
That's
Can
it.
you give people like a little insight into like what does tree trimming mean? Because I think that there's like hurricane tree trimming, and then there's
So I do. It's
something
a little
else?
bit. Yeah. So it's a little bit of both. So it's hurricane prep tree trimming for the communities that my company takes care of.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, because of how the rain has been and how different situations that have happened that have caused for tree trimming to run really, really late, I'm usually done in August. So I have September and October off because in November I have a little stint of palm trimming so that the communities can put up their Christmas lights and that kind of stuff. But for the hurricane prep, we're literally cleaning the trees so that wind can flow through them and not knock them down if in case there were to be a hurricane or something that would come through. But
interesting.
But it is an exhausting and extremely difficult season because I'm still doing regular maintenance for the communities, and then on top of that, we're doing tree trimming.
Mm-hmm.
And tree trimming is on top of a, like 45 feet up in the air, holding a, 25 to 30 pound machine to trim and then pick up all the garbage and all the stuff. It's like, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And then you throw rain on top of it. Like, I come home like a wet dog a lot of the days.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be over.
I'm glad it's over.
And it's a wonderful time because then I feel like when you're done with tree trimming, it is like heralding the holidays are here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cuz we're at the end of September. So, October, Halloween shows up. November, it's Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
December, it's Christmas, and this year Christmas is going to be incredible because we're not even going to be home for it.
Right. First time ever.
Yeah. So we're going to be up in the mountains, which is just going to be incredible.
And we're crossing our fingers, hoping for a white Christmas.
Okay.
Hey, what does okay mean?
As long as listen, it could be a white Christmas as long as we're parked in the driveway of our cabin.
And we don't have to go anywhere.
Yes.
So, you know what I thought that we could talk about today, which I think would be really, really cool?
I have no idea what you're about to say to me.
I know. That's usually what I say to you. Wow.
Roles are reversed. Okay, go.
So, floppy disks, Walkman, and just general things that it's like our generational things. The music from back then.
I can talk about my book of CDs.
Okay, like there's like cassette tapes, okay? Like all of these things, because yesterday I had a conversation with Mike. He called me. He had Tati on the phone, and he was like, Mom, say the story about when I was born and Denny's, okay? And as I'm telling the story, right, I told him this was back in the day where they asked you smoking or non-smoking. And I just thought, wow, like there's things that kids nowadays, they don't even remember were going on in our time. And that brings in floppy disks, going to the library for computers. Like there's all these things that are so accessible now. We were not born in the digital age, but they are.
When we had at home, we didn't have a computer. We had a word processor.
Okay, so what is the difference?
A word processor is only for you to type documents.
They wasted money on a machine that just did that.
Yep, and it had a little printer attached to it.
Isn't that like a typewriter?
No, it's a fancy typewriter. Because you would type everything onto a screen, you could check it, make sure everything was good, and then you hit print. A typewriter, you would type it, and if you screwed up, and you would have to like hit the erase button, and if you didn't have erase tape on the typewriter, then it wouldn't look good. It would be letter on top of letter. So wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
How are you going to say, the Denny's story, and then walk away from it?
Oh, because I thought maybe that's another day's story.
You can't tell people that you talked about a Denny's story.
Can't we put a pin on it and, like, in a future episode come back to it?
No, I think that would be wrong. It's a quick story.
It's a quick story, but it isn't about what I thought we should talk about.
I'll tell the story. I'm going to do a quick condensed version.
Bullet points.
So that way we can go back. And, that's actually a good episode in the future.
What?
To talk about the birth of our kids.
That's
and
why
the different
I was saying,
experiences.
That's why I was saying.
Okay, so Denny's. Ketmia gives birth. We go home 4 hours later. On the way home, she's like, I'm hungry.
I think 2 to 4 hours later.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty
quick. She's hungry.
Starving.
Yeah.
Famished.
I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, Denny's. We have a newborn that's like hours old. And we're sitting at Denny's having breakfast.
And they asked us smoking or not smoking.
Yep. And they also asked us, how old is
How
he?
many months?
How many months? We're like, hours. They looked at us like we were
We either
aliens.
stole the baby or we were crazy.
Yeah, we were aliens.
But also we were teenage parents.
Yes.
So,
anyways, story for another day.
Yeah, see? Okay.
Well, I gave people the gist of it.
Yeah. But so, there's a couple things that I feel like we might be repeating the same things that our parents have repeated to us and our grandparents probably said to them. Okay, which is they don't make things like they used to anymore, right? And I feel like we are at that age now. I don't know if it's 40 or what is it, but it feels like we're there, right? And I feel like the music today is not like the music that we grew up on.
So I actually saw a video.
Of course. Listen, if we ever go live on YouTube, there should be like a little logo that comes on and it's like special report.
So I actually saw a video this week where So there's this guy who plays the role of all his different characters, and he like addresses stuff that just everyone that always happens to everybody and everybody laughs about.
Mm-hmm.
So he had he was acting like a British guy. He was acting like a rapper of today,
Okay.
and I say that with air quotes
Right.
because some of it's not rapping, but I'm not going to go there. So he had the British guy. It was a rap battle, right, between the British guy and this rapper from today. And the host says, "Okay, to the British guy, you go first." And he's like, he does his thing, and they're like, the crowd, boo, boo, boo. And he goes, "Okay, now it's your turn," to the other guy. And the other guy goes, saying the exact same words, but he mumbles it all. He's like, and the crowd goes crazy. And he's like, he said the same words. He's like, you guys can't even understand what he's saying. Anyways, that was all.
Wow.
Thank you.
Babe, I feel like you just took us on this roller coaster ride and we just got to the point on top before the drop and there was no drop. They like rolled us right back to the station.
That would be the worst ride ever.
Ever! I feel so disappointed by the end of your story.
Well, what did you want the story to end with?
I thought there was going to be more. But okay, moving on.
Sorry.
Okay, but so just briefly, I guess, like
It's
what
the music of today.
that is the music of today. You're
Is
right.
all
Well,
this, like-
I mean, that's not all of it,
Well,
right?
I know, but the rapping, like we grew up with, like
Legends and
Legends.
icons.
and now it's this mumble rap.
But here's a great one for you, right? Were they legends and icons in their day?
Yes, they were.
I don't know, because I think if you talk to the parents, the grandparents, they
You
would be
will-
like noise and all of this.
My parents.
Well, there were some cool parents.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm saying for the most part, a lot of people. Listen. There's back
Well,
in
hold
the
on.
when
To be
Elvis came out.
To be fair, my grandmother,
Damn.
okay, didn't criticize the music we listened to. She tried to imitate it, and it was hilarious.
Oh, that's cool, Granny though.
Yeah.
That's cute. But okay, so like when Elvis came out, I know that this is like when the parents of these teenagers were like, this is like bad music and it's having a bad influence on our kids. Rock and roll was frowned upon. And now, like, this man is an idol
Yeah.
to people. So
So much so that 2 weeks ago, they sold a lump of hair that is supposedly Elvis Presley for $1.2 million.
oh my God.
A lump of hair. Like,
Did it get
like,
DNA tested?
I don't know. It's like if you were to take his brush and pull the hair out of it.
Wow.
$1.2 million.
That's so weird. And I wonder, like, the person who bought it, are they sitting there on their couch right now petting it like a cat?
Meow.
Okay.
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 This episode is going to be really, like, everywhere.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And I thought I had a uniform idea today. But, okay,
Well,
music.
there's going to be one line, right? And then it's just going to be like, phoom, 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 all over the place. So hold on. Stay with us.
So I feel like we have our feet in the 80s and the 90s. And that's where,
Even
like,
further back, I think.
yeah,
'Cause we
70s.
we like more of the oldie type stuff.
Yeah. And I know that can be, like a personality thing where people just like, I don't know, the old things, right? You're an old soul or whatever. But with music, like I listen, like, okay, so the very first secular song, because see, we did not grow up, we, as in me, right, did not grow up listening to secular music.
Okay.
But the neighbor would listen to secular music, okay?
So you got secondhand secular.
Wow. You're the one with the jokes today. So the first song that I heard, Rhythm of the Night.
Who? Oh, Rhythm of the Night?
Yes. The beat to that song, just the song, like it's still one of my favorite songs. Okay. And I remember there was a radio that we had, right? This is where we would listen to our Adventures in Odyssey. I think I talked about that in another episode. But I tuned it to find out what station he was listening to, right? And maybe back then it was Power 96. Remember? I don't even know if Power 96
They're
is still on the
around.
air. And Y100. Those were the two big ones where we live, right? Playing all the latest everything. And I found it, and I took a cassette tape. And it was listening, not getting caught listening, right? But listening when I could to catch it, to maybe be able to catch half of it and record it so that I could listen to half of it myself in my Walkman. I don't even know how I got a Walkman, who gave me a Walkman, but that thing was with me everywhere. Okay. And since I had, you have your headphones.
What did you listen to?
So, interestingly enough, one of my sisters and I were talking about how I would listen to Days of Our Lives on the Walkman.
How?
Because NBC, or I guess not NBC, but I guess it was NBC. They had a radio station.
They would put their TV stuff?
Yes. Just like you can listen to, I guess the sports radio. Okay. But this one was, you would listen to the news. You would get commercials. Everything playing on NBC was playing on the radio. I want to say that it was 89 point something. I know it was right around 90. And then they took the station off the air much later, in the 2000s, it went off the air. But I found it by accident, right? And it's listening to this dramatization of something.
Did your Walkman have radio?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah. So, is that what you were saying, Hal?
Yeah. I thought you were recording it and then.
So, my sister Leah, she knew what I was doing, right? And so she was my lookout if my mom was coming. And the thing is, sometimes it got you got into Days of Our Lives with me too, right? And there were some times where it's just so intense. I'm washing dishes. I don't realize the water's running. I'm wherever they're at listening. Oh my God, something's happening, right? And my mom would come and be like, "What are you doing? The water is running. Pay attention or take those headphones off." And then she would give me this look what are you listening to? Let me see, right? And I had already practiced. My mom's hearing this for the first time probably, but Leah and I were laughing about this. As I'm giving her the headphones,
You're hitting play.
I'm hitting play. And it's
Adventures in Odyssey.
no, and it's worship music and, hymns and all this stuff. And she was like, "Oh." And it was "Mom, I'm worshiping."
Oh my God.
Sorry, Mom.
While you're listening to what Stefan was doing
Right. Lust and greed and jealousy and all of this stuff.
My goodness.
Wow. But my mom, she had such a radar to catch if you were lying or if you were hiding something from her. So you had to think quick on your feet. And we were laughing about that because Lee knew, right, what I was doing. And she was such a good cover for me. But yes, so listening, there's so many songs that I hear. We have this whole playlist from the 80s and kind of the early 90s and some 70s songs in there too.
And we go back as far as the 60s.
I mean, that's a whole other playlist because we love stuff even from the 30s.
Yes.
But I'm saying stuff that we grew up in our generation, right? It's like you listen to the stuff now and I don't know if I'm just not seeing it, but I am appalled by some of these things that I'm hearing in like the lyrics in these songs, right? But I think that the songs back then that we were listening to, I think were kind of in a different way about the same thing.
Yes.
But it just seems more classy.
They were more incognito.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
That happened last night.
Yes. Well, that was not super incognito, but remember the Orange Crush?
Yes.
And remember Losing My Religion?
Mm-hmm. Orange Crush was like almost devastating when we found out what it was about.
Maybe we're talking about the wrong song.
No. That's the one that they're talking about in Vietnam. That's the chemical warfare. That's what the song's about.
Is that what it's about? Are you sure people aren't screaming at us right now when they're listening to this?
Look at it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, and I said Orange Crush because I was talking about, what was the name of the group? RDM?
No, look it up. That was a rock band song for us. The game rock band.
Yes, REM.
REM.
And they also sing Losing My Religion.
Orange Crush. What did you look at?
Agents of the Free. Oh, yeah. I do know that it is. I don't know that it's about Vietnam, but I don't know. I do know that a lot of these songs, like you said, had incognito lyrics in it. Were much, much deeper meaning of stuff. But anyway, I really enjoy the music of before. There is, there's always new artists up and coming, and
it was an intelligent anti-war commentary that was disguised as a 4-minute pop song.
And back then,
it was about the Vietnam War.
Wow, I did not know that.
And that song led REM to global success and stardom.
It resonated with people.
Yeah. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. So, it's interesting because I think that like the kids nowadays, they could listen to that music and be like, oh my God, this is so boring, or how could you listen to this? But it doesn't resonate with them. It resonated with people then. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like Nikki mostly tries to show me new music, the music she's listening to. I listened to something she was listening to, and I was like, what is this, right? And I think about, like, it sounded like metal, all right? Mm-hmm. She'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it was, like, okay, when you talk about metal, I think, I don't know.
Metallica?
Like, I was going to say Metallica. But if you listen to that and you listen to this,
Led Zeppelin,
it's very different. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they were. I feel like there were actual lyrics behind the music back then, right? Like Def Leppard,
but I think people would make the argument for that today as well.
I know, but it's like,
I don't know. Like, do you understand? I feel like every generation thinks they're right about their things, and then we never know. The one generation nobody touches that they like everyone salutes is who?
The what?
There's one generation.
Okay.
That everyone salutes, nobody touches. Like, that one is off limits.
What, like the Beatles and the...
No, I'm talking about generation. It's the people who lived through the 20s. The people who lived through the Depression. And, like, these are
but the
people
music
who went to the
then,
war.
The music back then was different, though.
I was just talking generation-wise. No music. We made a switch. We made a hard right. Did you fall off?
I fell
as
off.
we were making
Oh
the
yeah,
hard right.
I'm asking our listeners to stay with us, and I can't stay with us. What's going on?
Sorry. But okay, shifting
we
away
going-
from music, movies.
Wait, hold on. We're not done with music.
Oh, okay, go, because movies is next on the. I have a list
Oh,
today.
you have a list.
Yes, it's not
Are
real.
you checking
it's
it
just,
twice?
Don't get me started on Christmas.
Yeah, I
Next
know.
week's episode, we can talk Christmas if you
No,
want.
not yet. It's
Oh,
too
okay.
early. We got Halloween first.
Oh my gosh! Just a little quick side note on Halloween.
Yeah,
I
we're back to
dreamt
normal, people.
it was Halloween, and people were coming with their baskets for candy, and I was like, when was it Halloween?
Well,
I didn't buy any candy.
Well, they're talking. Well, apparently this year we're giving out packs of ranch.
Yes, but I don't know why.
I don't know why. Anyways,
Okay.
So
Music.
you said you went from Walkmans. Did you ever have because you had the cassette player Walkman. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a CD player Walkman?
No.
I had a CD player Walkman.
So just an interjection.
And I hated it.
Just an interjection.
Because you'd walk and it would bounce it and it was a disaster.
Okay, just an interjection. When CDs, I was there. We were there when we went from cassette tape to CD. And I remember so many people would say, don't waste your money on CDs. If they scratch, they don't play. You pretty much are throwing away everything that you have that works right now. And you're repurchasing it at a more expensive price. And they are cheap and crappy. So we all believed that CDs were just not a fling, a fad, and it was going to go away. So
Right.
we said, no, we're sticking with the hardy cassettes.
And then we went from CDs to MP3 players.
That I never had.
Little MP3. Well, that kind of happened when we were together.
But we didn't have that.
No, because we were one of the ones that were like, that's a fad.
Well,
CDs I had because so in my car, I had a surround system in my car that would like put your hair on end. And I had a big old book of CDs. It would take like 4 hours to go through them all before knowing what we were going to listen. And I always listened to the same like 3 CDs. But
And you wished, because I remember wishing, dang, wouldn't it be awesome? Because what was awesome back then? Mixtapes.
Mm-hmm.
And your mixtape is the best. Why did people love the mixtape so much?
Because you had a little bit of everything that you liked.
Everything, right? And then with CDs, it's like you have to listen to all the CD first and then the next one. And it's like, even in the CD, I don't know about you, but when I did get CDs finally.
Oh, that's why WoW became so popular. Remember
that? Of course. Does everyone remember WoW? They would do this commercial late night, and it was order now, and you get like all of the top selling songs. But see, to me, it was
wow. Now that is music.
And then there was WoW Christmas, and then
There's so many.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was saying is, I feel like perhaps maybe I had 2 CDs that I would listen from start to finish, and I loved all of it. But mostly, there was just a couple of songs that I liked from one CD. You know, it's not like you liked the entire album.
Right.
So.
And then the MP3 players came, and you had to, you remember Napster and
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Are we allowed to talk about LimeWire? Because
I don't know.
I don't know. Are they still up?
No.
Okay, so
stuff's gone.
LimeWire was the place where you could illegally download music.
And you'd put it on your computer, and then you'd have to move it over to your MP3. And
Oh, so we did have MP3 on the computer.
and
But that's where we're getting way ahead.
Yeah.
We need to go way back. Way back. Okay.
way
So
back.
with movies. Okay.
Hold on, but we're not done with music.
Oh my. So this is a music episode.
No, it's not. and then, oh yeah, we are done with music.
Stop it.
I just wanted to say the last words. We're done with music.
Okay.
Movies, go ahead.
Wow. And here I'm thinking, okay, what more can I
I'm
give
fighting
to
for
this?
my position today because you're not letting me get words in edgewise.
Sorry. Wait, that's what I do all the time.
I know.
I'm sorry.
But today, oof,
Okay.
you're very special.
Raise your hand if you feel like Hollywood has run out of ideas in movies.
That's long happened.
But long happened, what, in the last 5 years? Because I feel like there was a, hey, you're sort of remaking everything that's already been done. And if it's not a superhero movie, it's a remake.
The thing is that the generation that is happening right now, a lot of their influences are coming from this reinvigoration of old stuff. It's like the way they dress, the way they like the stuff.
So you're saying they're modernizing it.
Yeah. So I think that's why so many remakes are happening.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause,
I
like
feel like
there
we
was
can get like a little bit off the beaten track if we
Yes.
go down that way.
Well, I'm just gonna like just kind of throw it over top, but like like I thought bell bottoms were gonna come back. There was a little spot there, for real. Like there was a spot there where people were wearing the bell bottoms again. They called them the apple bottom jeans, right? Because they had to give it a different name.
I don't think so, babe.
Yeah, the little
Apple bottom jeans is not talking about that.
I know, but look at those jeans.
Okay.
Not the apple bottom jeans. What the heck is the other name that they gave it?
Wide leg.
Listen, I put on clothes and I go out.
You don't even shop for your own clothes.
I don't. I get home and Ketmia's like, "Hey, look, I bought you a new shirt." I'm like,
Bottom
"Cool."
jeans.
What's the ones they gave it another name.
Pear.
Well, the thing is that instead of bell bottoms, because bell bottoms was just like jeans, and then the bottom would just flare out.
Yeah,
right?
maybe they're flare jeans.
No, because it was those are bell bottoms. But then the new ones that I thought were gonna make a comeback and they kind of just disappeared. They were like rounded, so it looked like a balloon at the bottom, and that was around for a little bit. And I thought that those were gonna start coming back, but like there's a lot of influence from like previous generations that have started to come back, even in music. Like there's like.
Oh, yeah. Because remember that we have a whole playlist, right? I don't even know what it's really called. I feel so unprepared to say this. But they do have like an 80s sound. Because the 80s have a sound. And you can hear it if you watch Terminator. And...
It's like that techno.
No, it's not techno. I know what you're trying to say, but it isn't techno. Techno is like dance.
Yes, but like it's like a very techno sounding, like electronic.
It's like an electronic piano. I know what you're trying to say, but we just are at a loss for that term, I guess.
Yes.
But they're making new music with the old sound.
Yes.
Which is
it's cool.
It's very cool because it appeals to us. So,
but the influence is there from older stuff.
Right.
So I think that's why, to kind of go full circle, because we went off on a tangent.
Well, no surprise there.
For like the movies that are being remade and stuff that's happening there, I think that's happening because there is this influence from back then.
So I'm going to say something, and like I said, I feel like it's a little tricky to talk about the stuff, right? Because I feel like if we can go off and maybe even, I don't know, get a little controversial here, right? But personal opinion here, I do think Hollywood's run out of ideas. I think it's an excuse that they're remaking old movies to influence or, because of a new generation. I think that there is an agenda. Because if you watch these movies that are being remade, a lot of the storylines and a lot of the characters have been replaced to reflect where society is today.
Yes.
So, with that being said, I think that people who actually saw these great movies being made back then, who got to see it on the day they were released, it's not I don't know. Like I'm not a fan of remakes.
We talked about this a little bit in one of our episodes. I don't remember where, but I do remember that we had talked about, like, specifically with the new Star Wars. That I am not a fan of Rey as the lead character in the new Star Wars. And I would have to go as far as saying that maybe it's just a poorly written lead. Because it's...
Oh, yeah, I mean...
It's not that I have a problem that there is a female lead. My problem is that they took Star Wars and made the lead very weak. Like, there was... Like, I don't know. It took 3 episodes for them to finally say that she was of some sort of Jedi descent and whatever, and then when she showed up, she's like not even with any power.
Right, but I do wonder, right? Again, if you were to ask the young people, what did they think about Rey? I wonder if their opinion of it is...
It depends on who you ask.
But I'm saying, like, a huge poll, majority of people, like, how would they see her? Like, would they see this was a well-written storyline? She's very relatable. She's, very believable. I don't know, because maybe we come from...
It depends on who you ask, because if it's someone who grew up watching...
that's why I'm saying just exclude the people who know Star Wars and only ask the young people. I wonder what their opinion is, because...
They haven't watched it.
Maybe. But if Hollywood is trying to revive old movies for the younger people, then you assume that there's young people who have watched this.
Yeah.
But I feel like we do come from, I don't know, where even the toys were different. Okay. Mm-hmm. And like you think about every kid, probably every boy wanted to have a G.I. Joe figurine.
Yes.
Okay.
G.I. Joe. Like, I had G.I. Joe. I had Rambo figures. I had...
People don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Because now it's like, you've got your Marvel superheroes, right? Mm-hmm. But also...
hold on. Sorry, I just had to put this out there. We just watched Black Widow.
Okay,
the movie. Mm-hmm. I was so disappointed.
Oh, interesting.
How they did. I thought they did her wrong. She's such a strong character. Like, super strong character in all of the Avenger movies. And then they go to give her this backstory. And it almost felt like the story wasn't about her. How she was being controlled and manipulated. How she was like, what are you talking about? Like, why is that story that way? If that's what started it and got her to become this superhero, okay, take 5 minutes, tell that little bit of the story as a motivation for her to become the superhero that she is as Black Widow. The superhero who made a decision to give up her life to save the others. Like, okay, run that story. But then at the end of that movie, I felt like that was anticlimactic. Like, why do they do that?
That's like the roller coaster ride coming right back to the station.
Yes. And I'll go one step further. It was a female director. And that's how she wrote that story? Or portrayed that story? Like, that was an opportunity to make the Black Widow, like, a heavy-duty hitter. Mm-hmm. And they just gave a bland story. Mm. The movie was great. It fits into the universe of it.
But it could have been better. Right. Okay.
I'm trying to... what's the name of in The Mandalorian? I know we're talking... we're talking a little bit about
Star Wars.
Star Wars, but in the Mandalorian, the one that's the goodness, the female lead,
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune.
What about her?
No, like that's another character that has an opportunity, to be
Not anymore.
not anymore.
But we digress.
But I'm saying like it like there's this attempt to go back to a lot of like some of this nostalgic stuff, some of this like previous whatever, and any little thing creates a deviation that stops it.
Right. And so that's why for me, as a rule, like you have to be masterful at what you're doing in order to take a classic or an iconic movie and remake it into something, because it's already good as it is. Now you're trying to remake it. You better have something amazing up your sleeve. So I'm going to put out there, for example, there's a lot of people who are big fans of the Dune series and the Dune saga, okay? And this new movie that's being remade, it has a lot of promise to it. And it looks like this director is going to like kill it and, swing it out of the park. But it could be a flop. And it's like, I think that for the most part, people who love the iconic, legendary movies want you to leave them alone. If somebody tried to, like right now, we have amazing CGI to be able to remake Jaws, right? How much more scarier would Jaws be probably if you remade it, right? But I feel like Jaws is Jaws, and Jaws is scary on its own. And it's amazing on its own. Don't touch it.
It doesn't
Don't
require,
remake it.
It doesn't require a lot for Jaws to be scary. Because everyone's been to the beach. Well, a lot of people have been to the beach.
And also, like, that was the movie that made people afraid of the beach. Anything that comes after, it came after the glory of Jaws. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like these movies, I mean, we're talking about making a movie room, and we're talking about posters that we want on the wall, and it's the iconic movies that we want.
Right.
Terminator, another amazing movie, right? Then you get, now they're bringing him back, or they did bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him back?
Yeah. Yeah, he was like...
And it's like these things where they're making comebacks. Matrix, another one that's making... Like, there were movies that were great. They ended. We don't need another
okay. So let's talk about Matrix. I saw the trailer, like 10 days ago? I probably seen the trailer like 5 or 6 times after that, because I have no idea what the heck is going on.
It's just disappointing.
Confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused. And I'm hoping that in the movie, because I'm going to see it, I'm hoping that in the movie there's a little bit further of an explanation to have some understanding. But even in the last Matrix, the third one, the part where they're in the room with all the TVs, like that took some deciphering in itself, because it was
it's very wordy, and there's a lot of talking.
There was a lot that was going on there, but they make these attempts to bring stuff back when there shouldn't have been a comeback.
And so but that's where I'm saying, like, either you are running out of story ideas and creativity, right? Or somehow you feel like you maybe, and I wonder, is this like the director that didn't get the ending that they wanted, and so they've envisioned, if I had ended the movie, I would do it this way. I don't know.
Let's go back to Star Wars. Star Wars is a perfect example. They made 12 movies in total, right, of the Skywalker saga, right? The last 3, which is where Rey was, right, the lead character. There was this kind of weird wrap up that there was there, but they wrapped it up. And I think they realized, okay, we need to move on to something else. Mandalorian came out. Like, that was an incredible, incredible series. It's still Star Wars. It's just in a different direction. There's so much that's going on in the Star Wars world that, okay.
But why
we're
is
gonna
that
do
awesome?
Star Wars,
right?
But we're going to do it somewhere else.
Exactly. And
leaving
there's
the originals.
right, and you've got new, like you have mostly new characters, right?
And little callbacks to characters that are loved, because you've got Baby Yoda,
right?
And he's got nothing to do with Yoda, right? But you look at it and drive down the street and look around. Anytime you see anything that has Star Wars on people's car, what's sitting in there? It's a picture of this Baby Yoda. You know, like they did a really good job of reviving that. And then everyone is now sitting and they're waiting. Okay, so they did The Mandalorian. In The Mandalorian, there's callbacks to other characters that now they're going to have little episodes that are going to come off the side, and they're going to give, a little bit more in detail. And then now people are going to be like, well, cool, I want to get more of that. And, Boba Fett's going to come out, and this and that, and all this stuff that's going to happen. I think that's doing it the right way. Marvel did a really good job of keeping people hooked with these new Disney Plus series.
Right. Well, I mean, we can't really say that because we haven't watched any of them, so we don't know.
Yes. Yes.
But maybe, okay? But, I was going to say, there was a movie. This is a little kind of tidbit on the side. There was a movie that I watched as a kid. It was in somebody else's house, right? And I remember I was paying a lot of attention because anytime I was in somebody else's house, I would pay a lot of attention to the movies because it's not the kind of movies that we would watch at home.
Illegal types?
Listen. What? The illegal kind.
You were watching illegal movies?
No, just like not approved movies.
Yes, illegal movies.
Oh, okay.
Anything made after 1940.
But
if it wasn't black and white,
I would love if somebody could help me
spiders.
find this. Listen, I would love if somebody could help me find this because I have searched Google and I don't have enough. No, don't even try that right now.
I'm going to try.
I don't even have enough to go on, but it was a movie. This is what I remember. There was a father. I see like, an office building. He is in the elevator. All right. Somehow, I mean, I do remember it was intended to be maybe a family movie, a funny movie. This dad dies. Something happens to him, okay? But he can still see his kids and his family. I don't know if he remembers that he's dead, if he knows he's dead, or if he's just sort of like keeping an eye over them as a spirit. But I've always wanted to know what the name of that movie was because I didn't get to see all of it. And I missed how the movie ended. We had to go. And I've lived my whole life wondering what happened at the end of that movie. Did he come back to them? Did he leave them? I don't know.
So I typed in everything you just said to me, and it came back Die Hard.
Yeah. Die Hard. I've watched Die Hard. It is not Die Hard.
No, it is not.
But anyway, if anyone out there knows what that is, please let me know because I have searched and I have no idea. I have not come up with anything that works. But, another thing was, we talked about computers and the digital age, and our kids, I feel, were born right at the dawn of it all. Would you say that?
Yes.
Right? Where
So,
they had cassettes.
We can see the shift.
Right. And they
That's
were born.
crazy.
Yeah. I know. That is so crazy. Because you know why I think it's crazy? Because I feel like our kids' children, okay, they will have been fully immersed into the digital age. And what kind of shifts?
Oh my goodness!
What?
I know the movie.
What?
I know the movie.
What is the movie?
Do you remember who the character was?
No.
Who the actor?
No.
If I tell you, do you think you remember?
No.
Okay, I remember this movie, and it's actually funny.
Okay.
But it's probably on borderline controversial because of what this person became.
Okay.
The movie's called Ghost Dad.
Okay, I mean,
with Bill Cosby.
I don't remember. I feel like I mean, I would have to see it. We'd have to look at it.
That's the poster for it.
Goodness. Okay.
But I remember the movie. The moment that the name came up.
So do you? But I don't know why I remember an elevator. Did he die in an elevator?
He died at his office.
Okay.
Right? And the family went to go pick up his stuff at the office.
Uh-huh.
And there's a scene in the elevator
uh-huh.
where, if I remember correctly, he is in the elevator and his family starts going down the elevator, but he stayed on the floor where he's at. So he's trying to chase his family into the elevator.
Okay, I just remembered that's probably the scene I saw was the elevator scene. Okay, so I just want to watch it because I just want to know if that is the movie. That is crazy if you just found it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
it was really funny. I remember the movie.
Wow, okay.
It's 1990.
Well, that would make sense. Mm-hmm. That would put it right at. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I feel like something was uncovered right now.
Google for the win.
Yeah, well, Google did not for the win me. But anyway, so I know you were distracted, but I was trying to say, like, our kids' children, right? I feel like it's amazing that we've been able to see shifts in how technology has advanced and how things have changed. And we went from, vinyls to vinyls, interestingly enough, right? No, but literally, we went from vinyls to cassette tapes and CDs and all that stuff. Like, we've seen this shift. We went from rotary phones to cell phones. Mm-hmm. What kind of shift do you think that our grandchildren are going to see?
I need to correct you.
Oh, sorry.
We went from rotary phones, okay, to mini computers that you can make phone calls from.
Yes.
Because our cell phone is no longer even just a cell phone.
I know, that is true.
It is a computer.
That is true.
I mean, I'm writing out full proposals at work from my phone. Like, that's incredible.
So like, to me, I feel like there's no other. There's going to be a big bump in my voice in that moment. Sorry. There's going to be nothing else. Like, what are the grandchildren going to see? I feel like, right? Like, all the shifts have already happened, but who knows if they're going to be like, oh, I remember.
But we're going to be able to show them that stuff. I think we're going to be the cool grandparents.
We'll see what they think.
You don't think so?
I don't know, babe.
Listen, you've already sold me out.
If they're mumble rapping, what did I sell you?
You've already sold me out to be. I'm going to be playing baby games. So if I'm playing baby games with my grandkids, I better be the
cool grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay. But speaking about that, right, and just like the things that we did, right? You said we didn't have computers; we had word processors at home. I think I talked about this in a previous episode. We had an IBM brick.
That's a word processor.
That did not unlock. That was just for me to type like a few.
But that was a word.
Words.
That was a word processor.
There you go. Okay, that's what it was. And so when I was in college, right? This was 99. Okay. I had to go to the library in order to use the computer there, right? And I had to write this super long essay. I remember that you had to choose a disease to write your essay on. And I've always been easily grossed out, so thankfully, Google may have been around, but it didn't look like that when you logged into the internet like it looks now. Mm-hmm. I feel like images and things are easier to find now. I don't know. Maybe things were just being uploaded.
Well, it was the start.
Maybe, right? So I chose to do it on hepatitis, right? And I had to write this enormously long paper, which means I had to have all of my notes, all of my research done, go to the library and start typing, search for things. Thankfully, we didn't have to cite things back then. Oh,
There wouldn't be anything to cite.
well, just the encyclopedia, maybe. And what did you have to do? Because I couldn't finish all in one day. I had to use a floppy disk, right? I'm sure that you show this to kids nowadays. And I mean, I'm thinking about like your nephews. Would they even know what that is?
No.
And it's.
There was an interview with Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. So not a lot of people know this. I guess this is information that's really kind of irrelevant, but relevant at the same time. So Steve Jobs reached out to Bill Gates to help write programs for Apple computers. They were actually working together.
Interesting.
Right? Even though they are technically competition, right? But I guess there's benefits of, Apple had better security and Microsoft had better programmers. So they said, I'll give you this and you give me this, whatever. Anyways. And one of the things that they were talking about in that interview was the fact that people forget that, the first computers only had like kilobytes of memory. And now people are going to the store and they're like, my God, this thing only has 1 terabyte of memory. That's not enough. Like the advancement of what it was that it was going, from what it was back then to what it is now. And one of the things that he was talking about was that the floppy disk was one of their biggest things. And, he says that on his desk, this is Steve Jobs, before he died, but he said on his desk, he keeps the Rolodex of floppy disk, right? From the first programs that he got from Microsoft for Apple computers, okay? And he says that the Rolodex is 2 feet long, and it had, I think he said 67 floppy disks in it. And he said that was just for 2 programs.
That's insane.
Right? And
but remember the Rolodex?
That triggered a memory for me.
Okay.
Oregon Trail, right?
Okay.
When you played Oregon Trail, it was with floppy disk, right? So you would get to a certain part of the game, and then it would come up on the screen, and on the screen it would say, insert disc 2, insert disc 5, insert disc whatever, and you'd have to pop it out, put the new one in, and load it, and then you could continue the game. And Oregon Trail is on my phone. Like, the whole thing is now on my phone, and before when you played it was like 10 floppy disks.
Like, what would kids do nowadays if that's what they had to do?
It'd be impossible. It'd be completely unrealistically impossible.
Now you don't even need a disc to be able to play. You can just download a digital game.
They are selling, the Xbox that we just bought. The Xbox that we have here at home is digital. There's no disc. I can't put a disc into it. Like, okay, I guess we don't need that anymore. And it has 500 gigabytes or something on it, and okay, that's fine, no problem.
And yet, some things will always be the same.
Like?
Such as, we have made these amazing advancements in technology, right? We've got mini computers on our hands. We've got discs, movies, and games that are just accessed like that. But we have 5 remote control in our living room. because there is no digital universal controller for everything.
I don't want to end depressed.
Oh.
Those controllers frustrate me.
You need one for the TV.
Listen,
you need one for Apple.
Listen,
you need one for the...
I'm technologically advanced, I believe. Give me a computer and I can make the world like flip upside down. Like I feel like, but I can't work the damn controllers for the TV. You know how old the controllers make me feel every time I have to do something?
That is so crazy.
The controllers make me feel like if I'm 100 years old.
Don't give me another controller.
Like, stop. Okay, I'm going to go cry.
Sorry.
I'm going to go cry now.
But, hey, it was kind of nice to take a trip down memory lane.
Yes.
The movies that made us, the things that made us.
Yes, we should go finish
iconic legendars.
We're in the middle of watching
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh, the extended version today.
Yeah, today is the epic battle for Middle-earth.
Ooh, jinx.
Today it ends. But we're watching the extended, like super duper.
Well, this one's only 20 extra minutes, remember?
Thank God.
It's taken us like 8 hours to watch a 4-hour movie.
We
have to get a nap in between. We have to get lunch.
Yes, they're long, but they're really good.
Oh, they're so good.
So much fun. Anyways,
thank you so much for hanging out with us and for tuning back in after our absence last week.
Yes.
We appreciate all the listens.
And we'll be back next week with another episode. In case anyone has wondered, we have completely come off of social media. So I know if you've gone...
Finally, hold on. Yes. Let's give you a round of applause.
Yeah, I deleted everything.
We have a website if anyone wants to get a hold of us. And
Yep. So...
thisandthatchat.com.
The thisandthatchat.com.
The this and that chat. Because there is a this and that chat.
Yes.
No, there isn't.
No. It's the this and that chat.
But is there a thisandthatchat.com?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's the thisandthatchat.com. Send us a message there if you are interested in hearing anything specific, any specific subjects, or just have some questions or comments or whatever you'd like. Anyways, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye.
Goodbye now.